turned picture-in-picture photos into creative wonders is our topic today on Luminar Coffee Break. Let's see what we can accomplish in 10 minutes or less, starting now. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm just back from New York after a family get-together. Now, it was my brother's birthday. I'm about to show you some images of my sister's garden that she just put together before the party. It totally transforms the house. Absolutely looks gorgeous. Let me show you this right here. This is the final product. All right. However, this is the image I started with. Now, I will say in full disclosure, when I did this, there we go. When I did this, I was on the way out the door to photograph my nephews playing golf, and I just saw this bee on the flower. I turned, not with a macro lens, but with a telephoto lens. I zoomed and got this shot. Now, here's a great example on what tools to use. A macro lens would be perfect for this type of environment. If you get up close, take the shots, absolutely incredible. However, the tool I had with me was a telephoto lens. 200 millimeter was the length. I turned, shot this knowing that I'm going to take a picture inside of a picture. Now, here's the downfall with that. All right. Although this looks absolutely gorgeous, keep in mind, let me get to it. We are throwing away a lot of pixels. So if I need to print this like a 16 by 20, then I'll have to use upscale here, right down in here, to increase the pixel count so I can get a really good print from it. All right, so let me show you what I did. So here's the one image. I'm going to definitely crop it. Now, keep this in mind. Orders of operation. I know I'm going to do a lot of work to this. So I could either upsize it right now, or I could crop it, which this is the route we're going to take, do all of my edits. Then if I feel it's not large enough, then I'll go back in and do an upsize. All right? So I just want to get rid of that little piece there. And roughly right about there. That looks good. Now look at this. By cropping it as much as we did, when I go to export this, look at that. I went to 2,567 pixels by 1708, so 1,708 pixels, whereas the original image, we'll use this one over here. I export it. Look at this, 6,048 by 4,024. So it's a significant loss in pixels, but again, it's okay because we can always come over here and use upsize. All right? Or upscale, rather. All right, so here I am. We got the picture. I like it. Actually, this was the final one. So let me get to my, oh, here it is. My NEF. There it is. All right. So I did write a quick action or a preset for this. So we're going to come over to our presets, my preset, and here it is, the flower. There we are. Now I'm going to show you how I got this look. So the main part of the lesson was teaching you how to look at a photo. We'll do it again like this one right here. All right, how to look at a photo like this and convert it into a masterpiece like this, all right? And again, I just shot wide, made sure that I was focused on the flower itself, zoomed in, look at that, and got the look, all right? So that's how we got the picture-in-picture. Now let's see what we did using Luminar Neo to enhance these images. Well, I'm going to come over to Edit. Think of this edits as your history. And I'm going to come down here. The very first thing I did, right here. Look at this. By changing the profile. Watch the difference. Look at this. Look how that profile plays a big part of this image. So I found Vivid worked really well. Standard was nice. Vivid just gave it a little extra punch. So start out, change that. I did want to add a little contrast to the scene. Highlights, I'm going to bring it down even more. So I want the richness of the flowers. And then I'm a huge fan of the increasing the black tones by applying a negative value. And here, just slightly bring in the white tones. And we're good to go with the develop. Noiseless. Here I am going to run a little bit low because I zoomed in so much. There may be a little noise or pixelation in the image. Noiseless is going to help me with that. And then, of course, one of my favorites is enhance. Now watch this. Notice with the B. And I'm going to redo this for you. So I'm going to reset it. Global change. I want everything to look great. Right about there. That looks good. And you know what? I'm going to do another enhance it. But before I do that, let's go up to color. And I'm going to dial back the saturation, but I'm going to pump up the vibrancy. Saturation is all the colors, all the pixels. Vibrancy is the muted colors of those pixels. Now I'm going to come back to tools, and here we go. Global change versus local change. I'm going to enhance the image like I did before. So all the images being affected. Now let's do a local change. I'm going to use the radial gradient. I just want that B to stand out. Good, right there. And let's see what it looks like. Before and after, ready? Oh, look at that. Look how just by doing that little extra, it gave us that punch. Now, I should hide this for you. This right here, let me hide it, is the texture layer. So this is what it looks like all by itself. I like it. It looks good. But now what I want to do is add some texture to this. So what I did, let me remove that layer right there, is I came in here and I did add a texture to this image, but I want to stretch it so it fills the entire image. I'll go to an extreme so you can see it. That's what the texture looks like. Now I could flip it around, up and down. Let's try it out from here. But here's what's going to make it really look good is change the layer blend mode. I'm going to change that to soft light. And then dial back it just a little bit. Ooh, now what that just did for us is it gave us this little extra texture into the image. You may not notice it as much. Look what it's doing here. Look at that. So I'm going to hide it again. That's before. And look what the texture is doing. It's darkening it and it's bringing it all together. All right, now, we talked about orders of operation. I love this. I love what this is here. I don't like that this bud is in between. Well, if I want to apply a vignette, that I'll show it here, because we cropped it so much, and I do want to get rid of that bud, if I applied the vignette now, watch this. Oh, let me put it on the correct layer. So let's delete it. There we go. So I have to go to the bottom layer. I want to add that vignette. Because it's cropped, we're not seeing a whole lot to this vignette. I'll pick right here as the center. Look at this. It's not doing what the traditional vignette does because it's looking at the entire image. So what we're looking at is the crop version. So we're looking at this part of the image here. Well, that vignette that we just applied to the entire image. So what I want to do is orders of operation. Once I get this where I want it to be, then I'm going to save it as a JPEG, so or a TIFF. So what I'm going to do is come over here, and instead of exporting it, why don't we just come over and let's do Gen Erase. This is going to create it automatically for me. It's going to create a new file. So I'm going to come in and just generously come over and then down the bottom, and I'm going to hit erase. Now, with the generative stuff, keep in mind, it's hit or miss. It's trying to look at the image, analyze it, go out to the web, figure out what it could do to replace that piece right there. And it did a pretty good job. It's not perfect. I would do it over again. In fact, I am. And let's see if it gives us a different result. But this is one of those times where we're going to sit back and just be an artist. Erase it. If you don't like what it looks like, go back over it and fix it. Let me come in here. Okay, it did better. Actually, you know what? I have no problem. This piece, I'm going to reset it. This piece doesn't bother me. I like it. I'm going to leave it right where it's at. Good. Now watch. When I save it, it's going to create this as a TIFF. And look at this. It put it right there in the generative creation. All right. Now, if I don't want it there, I could drag and drop it into the location where I want it to be. But for now, let's just leave it right where it's at. Now watch this. Now when we apply the vignette, I'm going to choose the subject here. I'll go to an extreme. Look at this. Now it's looking at the entire image. And now the vignette is behaving the way we love it. So I'm going to come in here, add a little inner light to it, feather it just a bit. Now I'm going to bring it way back. And the amount, right about there. Let's see if it makes a difference. Yep, okay, good. A slight difference. So a little more. The amount. And the size. Good. Before. After. Let's make sure we do have that selected correctly, which we do. That's fine. And you know what? I'm going to dial it back just a little more. Right about there. Good. That looks good. And there we have it. All right. So we started out originally with, let's do this image here. Revert to original. Good. So we started with this image right here, which still looks, which was just a reference shot. That was just something that we wanted to snap a picture of. Now, had I have said, well, no, let me go back and get my macro lens, run to the house, grab the lens, come back out. By that time, that bee is gone, and my nephews would have waited for me to take them golfing. So don't stress. If you see a shot, take the shot. But remember, you can always do a picture inside of a picture through that cropping. All right? So there we have it. Well, guys, thanks so much for watching. Now, if you're here, please stick around for the Ask Me Anything segment. For everyone else, I'll see you at the next coffee break.